You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Welcome to the 2019 Myrtle Beach Invitational. Our first semifinal has the 17th ranked Villanova Wildcats taking on the undefeated Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Here's where we are at Coastal Carolina University. Baylor and Coastal Carolina, the hometown team, will play at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU for the right to meet the winner of this one on Sunday for the title of Myrtle Beach Invitational. Welcome, everybody. Doug Sherman along with Corey Alexander. So glad to have you with us here today for a chance to see a Villanova team that looked so good yesterday, Corey. They looked like a top 10 team once again, and they did it with great balance.
They did it with great balance because they had so many different players getting involved in the game. It started with Cole Swider coming off the bench. 26 points, a career high for him. Colin Gillespie got the game started, scoring the first 8 points. Then you think about Justin Moore, the freshman, stepping into a huge role, coming up with 15. And Brian Antoine, in his Nova debut, 9 points for him, a spark plug coming off the bench.
Meanwhile, for the Bulldogs, Reggie Perry, Tyson Carter, two of the guys leading the way.
They are a great combination between the two of them. It was Reggie Perry, 14 first half points, who got him started. Tyson Carter scored all 16 of his points after the intermission, and the two of those guys combined were spectacular for the Bulldogs. But it wasn't just about these two for Mississippi State yesterday as they got it going. And of course, we had to mention Tyson Carter scoring his 1,000th point on that dunk and the smile for the camera. But this young man, Iverson Molinar, 21 points from Mississippi State yesterday. He could be the wild card for this team, as well as the Mississippi State defense. 25 turnovers for the offense yesterday. They've got to clean it up versus Villanova. Can't beat a Villanova team turn the ball over that much.
Can Mississippi State dominate the glass as it did yesterday? Can it shore up the turnover issues? Can Villanova shoot as well as it did in the rout of Middle Tennessee? We will see as Mississippi State and Villanova are set to tip things off. The Bulldogs in their maroon uniforms with white lettering. Villanova in the home whites with the blue lettering and trim. And it's Tyson Carter who controls the basketball first. Off to Iverson Molinar. Here is Reggie Perry.
Well, one of the things we're seeing, Jermaine Samuels guarding Reggie Perry early. But many of the NBA scouts here are here to see the matchup between Jeremiah Robinson Earl and Reggie Perry, considered the two biggest NBA prospects playing here in Myrtle Beach Classic. But I can tell you one guy that everyone has their eye on is Iverson Molinar, the way he's gotten started.
He scored 21 points on 4 of 6 shooting beyond the three-point line in the win over Tulane yesterday. He's got the first 2 here this afternoon. Colin Gillespie, tough pass to handle. Out of bounds. Last to touch, Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
And Molinar getting the assignment of guarding Colin Gillespie as well, who scored the first 8 for the Wildcats yesterday. Really got off to a great start, and I'm sure it's something that Ben Howland has talked with his team about, as we see Reggie Perry doing what he did so much yesterday as well, handling the pressure, and they know they're going to see a lot of full-court man-to-man pressure versus Villanova. When you've got a 4-man that can handle the ball this way, it's a luxury for Ben Howland.
Carter drives on Gillespie, who recovers. 5 to shoot. Molinar attacks and was blocked. Sadiq Bey got a piece. Shot clock violation.
And Molinar up against the shot clock, doing a great job attacking the rim, but gives Sadiq Bey credit for the block. And he and Justin Moore gathering around Woodard to force it off his foot and get that shot clock violation. But immediately, just like that, you see Cole Swider checking into the game for Justin Moore. Conversation with Moore on the sideline with Jay Wright right now. Apparently, Coach Wright not happy with something he saw defensively from Moore on that possession.
Robinson Earl, no. Bey continues to be active. And the takeaway. Carter, long 3. Can't get the roll, tips around, and it comes to Swider. Here's Gillespie. who, as mentioned, had 8 points in the first 55 seconds yesterday. His first 2 come 2 minutes in today.
And that is the definition of upper body strength. Gillespie getting that shoulder into his defender and still with the presence of mind to be able to lay that basketball up over the top of the front of the rim.
Back cut, Carter, pump fake, lays it in.
And just like that, Tyson Carter's had a more productive first half here against Villanova than he did in the second, than he did all yesterday. But his second half was spectacular. Can he put it together versus this type of competition?
He finished with 16 points and 11 rebounds. That's out of your point guard in the win yesterday over Tulane. Not a great decision by Iverson Molinar.
And Molinar immediately looks to the bench, puts his hand up, says, my fault. You don't throw it to your 5-man or do it in the middle of the floor. You keep the basketball in your hand as Justin Moore checks back into the game for Robinson Earl. And right now, you know, Jay Wright talked to us about the fact that this group with so many younger players, he has to do more coaching.
Right.
And when you see these freshmen, Justin Moore first and now Robinson Earl coming out of the game, they're immediately having a conversation with Jay Wright regarding what they probably didn't do so well. Not to say that's the reason why he took them out of the game, but definitely a teaching moment for him.
Molinar, after Gillespie went down, misses the 3, but Woodard didn't miss the follow.
That is the concern. I told you yesterday, Doug, the performance I saw from Villanova was probably the best live performance I've seen. And I've seen the top 4 ACC teams. But defensive rebounding is going to be key for these Wildcats, especially here today against Mississippi State.
Yeah, nobody in the country offensive rebounds better than Mississippi State. Swider for 3.
And when you say nobody in the country, I'm not sure there's anyone in the country shooting a hotter basketball than Cole Swider has here at Myrtle Beach. 26 points yesterday. And Villanova, 1 3-point make off of this program record, but how are they going to deal with Reggie Perry on that block?
Well, they're trying to do it with Jermaine Samuels, who's 6'7", 222, but giving up a lot of size to Reggie Perry. Gillespie to the basket, and he lays it in.
Gillespie's been super aggressive early in both games thus far, and you see this is the thing that really has impressed the NBA scouts most about Perry. He is the primary ball handler often, especially against pressure for Mississippi State. Doesn't run away from guards, and the fact that he's shooting the basketball this well, he tested the water a year ago, but now you can see this young man is a first-round pick.
I think he's going to dive right in. He plays like this. My goodness, we've got over 36 scouts in attendance. And as you said, Corey, number 1 in maroon is at the top of their list. 11-7 our score with our first media timeout here at the Myrtle Beach Invitational. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Visit Myrtle Beach, where happiness comes in waves. And Dollar General. Save time, save money every day.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Occupied.
Okay. It gives you like 10 degrees protection, which is nice. It gives you that light area. Story time?
Sorry, past my bedtime.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
Wow! Wait, how did you guys?
Don't ask.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $369 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
There is Villanova basketball royalty right there. Ed Pinckney, one of the 36 or so NBA scouts in attendance here at the Myrtle Beach Invitational, and he's getting a chance to watch his alma mater do its thing.
Absolutely, and we talked with Jay Wright about the culture. Ed Pinckney extremely proud of the way Jay Wright has carried the Raleigh-Massimino culture into the new generation of Villanova basketball. And of course, he gets an opportunity to walk around with his chest puffed out.
Oh, yeah.
After winning 2 national championships in the last 3 seasons. Same way I do, right now. I just had to bring that up. Same way I do when I bring that up. Of course, my alma mater winning the national championship last year. Yeah.
For 2 reasons, that's not right. For one, he actually won a national championship when he was on the roster.
So did I. Last year, 2019.
And then,
but ever on scholarship.
His alma mater has won twice since. Yours has won once. So I wouldn't put them as exactly parallel.
My alma mater is the reigning defending national championship. I left UVA a year early. I have a year of eligibility left, so I consider myself on the national championship team. There you go.
No. And I would love to see you try to match up against Kihei Clark right now.
That's too much. I don't play
practice
defense.
floor.
I don't play defense anymore.
Well, he would defend you.
I retired from defense.
He's Corey Alexander. I'm Doug Sherman.
And he's Reggie Perry. Denied at the rim by Slider. Wow. But that young man is playing very well early, as is Colin Gillespie. Full speed ahead. Starting off this game the same way he did yesterday. Extremely aggressive for Gillespie, coming out, recognizing how important this game is in the moment. And the leader of the Wildcats getting his team off to a great start.
Yeah, 2-time co-captain for Villanova. Offensive foul against the Bulldogs, and Gillespie's making things happen.
And I was for sure we were going to see another highlight from Reggie Perry off of great passing. But give Cole Swider credit, getting in there, getting his hand on the basketball, blocking the shot. And Colin Gillespie finishing at the rim. And Gillespie's been extremely aggressive early, and I like the way that he's approached this game. Remember, he's playing with a number of younger players who haven't been in this environment before. But he has, and it shows right now.
Yeah, Gillespie was a key reserve on the 2018 Villanova National Championship team out of Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. 6 minutes in our first semifinal in the Myrtle Beach Invitational. Wild shot, that time by Reggie Perry. Swider gives it up. Gillespie was calling for it, and that's why. 11 points for Gillespie in the blink of an eye.
And getting out on the fast break, Villanova has a number of guys that can push it and make plays. Swider, Gillespie hooking up once again.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
No. No. No.
How come I'm always walking backwards?
Because you got young legs.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
This is unbelievable. It really is.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 RX 350 for $419 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
Tonight, what a doubleheader we'll have for you on ESPN and the ESPN app. DeMar DeRozan leads the Spurs against Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons and the Sixers, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then James Harden, Russell Westbrook and the Rockets take on Kawhi, PG, and the Clippers. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown tonight at 7 o'clock. A 7-0 Villanova run that has all been Colin Gillespie as the Cats on top by 3. Perry trying to tie it, can't do it. And the rebound grab by Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Swider. Pretty good closeout that time by Perry.
Well, and you have to close out quickly on him as Swider's taking on the challenge of guarding Perry as well. And Reggie Perry really hasn't been able to do much over the last couple possessions, but you see Mississippi State is going to make a point to get him the basketball. This time he's able to take care of that size advantage and finish over the top of Swider.
Well, off the strength of his 26-point performance yesterday, Cole Swider. Oh, Woodard going to get his second slam of the day.
And just a lazy pass by Brandon Slater on the perimeter, allowing Woodard to run right through the passing lane. And, of course, Swider has to take some responsibility on that as well, coming to the basketball. But if you're Jay Wright, you don't want to give Mississippi State those type of opportunities in transition. The easy buckets, you want them to play against a set defense.
Samuels and Bay will check in at the next stoppage for the Wildcats. Gillespie, drive and dish. 3 to shoot, more attacks, and a foul in the air, got him in the head. Going to go against Robert Woodard II.
It's hard to defend this. Brandon Slater taking on the challenge, trying to guard Reggie Perry, and then, of course, Woodard getting out with the steal in transition and the finish. Just like that to put Mississippi State back into the lead after Villanova, or should I say Colin Gillespie, had gone to the 7-0 run.
Justin Moore's first point comes from the free throw line. There is Jermaine Samuels, the junior from Franklin, Massachusetts in. Reggie Perry will take a seat for the Bulldogs. And Keyshawn Feazell has come in for his first run. We also get DJ Stewart off the bench for Ben Howland.
Smart sub right there by Jay Wright. You're at the free throw line.
So there was a Bulldog in the lane, but Mike Eads clearly said free throw is good.
The defensive possession here, your next dead ball will be immediate timeout. So you get Gillespie out with an opportunity to get him a break.
Foul from behind is Moore.
Once again, the Bulldogs on the offensive glass. And Jay Wright, it's amazing to see the conversations that he has with each and every player when they come out of the game. Oftentimes you'll see head coaches, pass guys off to the assistant coaches to tell them whatever it is they need to talk about. But Jay Wright makes the point to talk to each and every player coming out of the game, whether they did something well or not, giving him just his 2 cents.
The 2-time national coach of the year in 06 and in 16. Robinson Earl somehow kept his pivot, then missed the layup.
But here's the issue for Robinson Earl as Waldemar knocks down another 3. Yesterday against Middle Tennessee, when Jeremiah Robinson Earl caught the basketball in the post and it was able to maneuver and lay the basketball up against this front line, he's better go up a lot stronger than he has early in this game, or it's getting blocked or denied.
I heard Seth Greenberg say last night that he views this Mississippi State team kind of like the way we think of Ben Howland's Pittsburgh teams back in the day in terms of that size and physicality.
They have the size and physicality, but they have way more athletes.
Robert Woodard II has 3 dunks already, and the third one tops them all. So you were saying about their athletic ability.
I love it when the guys hear me over here talking while they're playing, and right on cue, give me a finish. We were going to go to the break with the Woodard dunk, and then after this Sports Center Top 10 nominee, we decided to go with a different Woodard dunk. We'll see that later tonight.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Dad, the Lexus dealer guy's calling.
No, it's not. It's a robocall.
We might need a plan B.
I got an idea.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus.
Look.
Giving one. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $329 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
The 2K Empire Classic wraps up tonight at Madison Square Garden. The consolation game between 22nd ranked Texas and Cal gets underway at 5 p.m., followed by the championship game. Number 1 Duke and Georgetown at 7 p.m. Both games are on ESPN2.
The Georgetown playing against the number 1 team, trying to be reminiscent when they went to 3 straight national championships. 1982, of course, against the North Carolina Tar Heels, and then, of course, winning it. In 84, they won it and lost in 85 to what would be Ed Pinckney. And what did they call them? What was the name for the Wildcats? They were the Miracle Cats. It was something, they had a great nickname for Riley Massimino's Villanova Wildcats that knocked off Georgetown and Patrick Ewing.
And they went into Rupp Arena where the Final Four was that year and played ultimately the perfect game. I mean, they shot incredibly well, and it was one of those going into it where you're like, well, there's no way Villanova can hang. They had a nice season. They got to the championship game, and Georgetown's going to win by 40. Well, it didn't work out that way.
Georgetown was so dominant. Patrick Ewing, his nickname is Beast. It's been his nickname since he's been in the NBA, and he truly was a beast at Georgetown.
Tyson Carter drives on Samuels, hangs in the air but missed it. Perry, with the shot clock still winding down. Like a pinball, they bounced off 4 different white shirts and then laid it in.
But, you know, one of the things, Doug, yesterday when I was so complimentary of Villanova and talking about they may be the best team I've seen live, the one concern that we had was what would they do when they saw that physicality on the glass? And right now, I believe that Reggie Perry has exposed Villanova's biggest weakness early in this game, the first 10 minutes, as he's continued to hurt them on the offensive glass. We knew coming into this game it would be an issue for the Wildcats. And Reggie Perry continues to go to work. 5 white jerseys surrounding him. Doesn't matter when you've got shoulders like this and you finish that way, I'd flex with the camera too.
Perry with 9 points. The sophomore from Thomasville, Georgia, all SEC freshman team a year ago. Molinar back the other way. Not surprisingly, the Bulldogs have been more effective in the paint so far today. 12 points in the lane for Mississippi State, although half of those have come on Woodard dunks. Villanova has just 6 points in the paint. Gillespie's effectively gotten to the basket. Here he sets up Robinson Earl.
Nice pick and roll action in small, you know, really in small space right there between Gillespie and Robinson Earl.
Illegal screen. Iverson Molinar. So there's a turnover for Mississippi State. Give it back to the Wildcats.
And Villanova playing in tight quarters. You see very few pick and rolls inside the three-point line, but this time it works to perfection. And then on the dribble handoff, Molinar actually has to stop. He can't run immediately into Sadiq Bey on that possession and picks up the offensive foul. So a turnover for Mississippi State, giving Villanova an opportunity to tie or even take the lead on this possession.
Prince Oduro has come into the game for Mississippi State. As he tried to help on the hedge, he couldn't recover in time to stop the layup.
Well, we saw 28 assists on 37 made field goals for Villanova yesterday. And again, they continue to share the basketball extremely well, making plays for their teammates and taking advantage of the aggressiveness of this Mississippi State defense. I believe Woodard got away with the travel right there. That's one of the reasons why it got so loud amongst the tremendous Villanova following that we have here at the HTC Center.
Gillespie, Robinson Earl. Feels a little bit like Finneran Pavilion South. Loaded with Wildcats fans. Their team is taking the lead.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Occupied.
Okay. It gives you like 10 degrees protection, which is nice. It gives you that light area. Story time?
Sorry, past my bedtime.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus: giving one.
Wow! Wait, how did you guys?
Don't ask.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $369 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
Villanova ranked 17th in the country, back in front, being led at the moment by their outstanding freshman Jeremiah Robinson Earl, number 14 in this year's ESPN 100. He picked Nova over Carolina, Kansas, Arizona, and Notre Dame. Wildcats are happy to have him.
Well, and we were concerned about him. He had to finish over the top earlier and be more explosive with his finishing. He did just that for the last few possessions, where his shots were challenged before. Jeremiah Robinson Earl doing a much better job finishing, and part of the reason why Villanova is in the lead.
And there you see the freshman class, highly acclaimed for Jay Wright. Gillespie, the junior captain, with the steal. Slater mishandled, gets it back to the captain. Boy, we had a perfect look, and I thought for sure that was going in.
No, it looked good coming out of his hands, no question about it. And the way he's played, we're talking about Colin Gillespie, the way he's played here at Myrtle Beach, you don't really expect to see him miss minutes. But another turnover for Mississippi State. Able to dodge a bullet on that possession. That would have been a huge three from Gillespie, getting some separation between the two teams right now that have been battling in a one-possession game pretty much since we started.
Bulldogs haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Stewart unable to snap that drought. Very quickly, Gillespie back the other way. Bounce pass, dump it off, and it's another slam for Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
This Mississippi State team is a very good defensive team, but one of the things they are struggling with is getting back and communicating, stopping the basketball, and finding players in transition.
Love the action to find Carter open in the corner. He just couldn't bury it. Samuels unable to answer. Foul on the rebound.
Give Colin Gillespie a tremendous amount of credit. He's been aggressive offensively, scoring the basketball, but doing a great job getting his teammates involved as well. The nice pocket pass to Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who finishes off again above the rim. And right now, when you see, and part of it, we've talked about this watching Villanova yesterday, they have 5 players on the floor pretty much at all times that can push the basketball off of a rebound. So it allows you to get an advantage, and it makes it difficult to match up for opposing teams. You see Sadiq Bey actually handling the basketball against pressure now.
Gillespie under control, gets it back to Bey for 3.
Doug, when you talk about how important and why it's so important to have so many guys that can push the basketball, because it makes it so difficult to match up on the other end of the floor when you're playing man-to-man and getting to your guy. And you see right now Mississippi State struggling, and we see Villanova out again in transition.
What have we had, 7 dunks already?
Well, we had I don't know the number, but I know they've been spectacular. Gillespie finding Sadiq Bey. Again, difficulty matching up in transition. Finds you on the wrong side of a poster, courtesy of Jermaine Samuels. Wearing that 23, that's a nice number to take flight.
Wow. So Samuels gets his first 2 in highlight fashion. Robinson Earl and Gillespie have been leading this surge while Mississippi State has gone stone cold, Corey. 0 for 5, one of its last 7, and during that scoreless drought that's stretched for over 4 minutes, Bulldogs have also committed 3 turnovers.
But part of it also is when Villanova can take care of their defensive board, they're going to be one of the best teams in transition. It's like a broken record. They've got a bunch of guys that can push it. And when you don't have to wait to get the ball to your point guard, even though it normally ends up in Gillespie's hands, it's so difficult to get back defensively and find your assignment.
And, you know, Jeremiah Robinson Earl is one of those guys who seems to just have a natural knack for rebounding. And he's been able to produce and kind of, for Villanova, hold off Mississippi State on the glass a little bit.
Boy, they've really settled in really over the last 5 to 10 minutes of this game. Early in the game, Reggie Perry was having his way on the offensive board. But since a couple of conversations with Jay Wright on the sideline, Jeremiah Robinson has definitely done a much better job of going to the glass and getting his team out in transition early.
And Jeremiah Robinson Earl comes in averaging a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds per game. He went for 6 and 11 in the win yesterday over Middle Tennessee. Shot clock under 10 for the Bulldogs. Carter on the switch, shoots over top. Duncan Moore dribbles up. Gillespie, another paint touch. The skip pass finds the open man. It's Justin Moore for 3 more.
And I'll tell you what, the way Villanova moves the basketball is a flat-out clinic. Always driving to the rim, looking for one of their open teammates. Oftentimes not even looking to score, just recognizing the defense is going to collapse. Someone's going to be open on the outside.
It's a 16-0 Villanova run. Samuel saves, and Slater somehow keeps his heels from going over the baseline.
And Villanova actually, for this possession, is going to slow it down. Only because Slater had to tiptoe the sideline. Outside of that, a 16-0 run for the Wildcats, looking to build onto that on this possession.
Moore, his entry pass taken away by Woodard, who's on the run. A lot of contact, and he'll head to the free throw line. It's all Villanova over the last 4 minutes. 16 unanswered points. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in for Black Friday deals. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Occupier?
Okay. It gives you like 10 degrees of protection, which is nice. It gives you that light area. Story time?
Sorry, past my bedtime.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
Wow! Wait, how did you guys?
Don't ask.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $369 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
Kevin, thank you. And Coach, you're right. I mean, on that one possession, consecutive passes, Colin Gillespie, Jermaine Samuels, drive into the paint, jump stop, pass, find the open man, led to the open three-point shot.
Okay, if you and I can continue to work together, you cannot tell Coach Greenberg that he's right. You got to know better than that, because he knows he's right. It wasn't a question of that. So you're basically confirming to him what he already knew. We can't do that.
See, I value both of you, so this is going to be hard if I've got to choose
pick a
you
side
over him.
Yeah, pick a side.
I didn't realize there was a civil war, an Alexander Greenberg civil war.
There's a war. It's not civil, but there's definitely a war. That's my guy. I love Coach Greenberg.
Well,
puts in a lot of work, too.
From the free throw line, Mississippi State snaps the 16-0 Villanova run that began about the midpoint of this first half. Samuels, Gillespie, Robinson, Earl, Slater, and Swider on the floor. Slater shuffled his feet and gives it back to the Bulldogs. So in the last 3.5 minutes here, how does Mississippi State stem the tide and keep Villanova from rolling right into halftime?
Well, one, stop turning the basketball over. But secondly, find a way to get Reggie Perry the basketball on the block. Allow him to operate. He's going to have an advantage over anyone guarding him. Now you see the matchup between he and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. That's the matchup that many of the NBA scouts are here to watch. And at the same time, you've got to give Reggie Perry an opportunity to be able to perform with the basketball below the free throw line.
Perry backing his way into the lane.
Can't guard him. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to guard him one-on-one, he's going to win that battle more than half the time. Love Jeremiah Robinson Earl, but he can't do anything with Reggie Perry on that block.
Gillespie, offensive foul. Consecutive turnovers now by Villanova.
At this point right now, Doug, you're playing pickup basketball, what you do so much. Then you're coming down the floor saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going right back to Reggie Perry to see if he can get us a bucket. Left side facing block. Perry gets the basketball. We're going to ride this wave throughout the remainder of this first half to see what Villanova can do to stop it. Small thing, but they switched the side. And again, we know that he's very good going over the left shoulder with the right-hand jump hook. Now you put him on the opposite side of the floor, probably not his best side. But again, you want to get the basketball inside the number one, and what you said was maroon. Looks black to me, but you called it maroon. I'll roll with that.
My colorblind color partner. Bulldogs in their maroon. Villanova Wildcats in their white. Now it's Woodard facing up on Swider. If he gives you that much space, you got to put it in.
And Woodard, of course, can operate on the block as well. But that's the way you slow it down. It's the equivalent in football of having a running game. When you throw the ball in the block in comparison to the passing game where you're shooting threes. That's going to be Villanova's strength. For Mississippi State, they've got to get that ball inside.
Since the timeout, 6 consecutive points by the Bulldogs. The folks from Starkville now making some noise. Robinson Earl draws the foul on Perry, who can't believe it.
But Perry was in perfect position until he brings that right hand down. Gillespie dropping another dime, and you see Perry as he goes up vertically. But when you come down and bring those arms down, if there's any contact whatsoever, it's going to be called a foul.
Perry had 18 points in the win yesterday, 7 of 8 shooting, but he was in foul trouble throughout and fouled out. Tomorrow, Justin Herbert and number 6 Oregon look to keep their college football playoff hopes alive against Herm Edwards' Sun Devils in Tempe. Ducks have won 9 in a row since their Week 1 loss to Auburn. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Here with Corey Alexander, I'm Doug Sherman. This is our first semifinal of the Myrtle Beach Invitational. 17th ranked Villanova with the lead in the basketball.
An offensive rebound off of a free throw. Nothing drives coaches crazier than seeing that. You've got 4 players on the free throw line in comparison to 2 from the opponent, and yet you give up an offensive board.
Samuels misfires. Perry with another rebound. Damier Cosby Roundtree is into the game for the first time. He closes out, makes some contact. Nonetheless, Stewart gets the roll.
Great penetration. Coach Greenberg talked about how Villanova was the best drive, jump stop, pivot, passing team in the country. But I like to get in the lane and find your teammates for a wide open 3, regardless as to how you get there, getting good looks for your team.
Cosby Roundtree on the putback. Under a minute remaining in the half.
And Doug, what we've seen is with Mississippi State, the opportunity to, when they score, Villanova does not have those opportunities to get out and run. So now you don't see those threes in transition.
Now with about 3 seconds difference between the clocks, Villanova's going to call a timeout.
Loving this battle we're seeing. Carter driving it, kicking it out to Stewart, who's able to get the friendly bounce. But on the other end of the floor, Cosby Roundtree taking a trick out of the Mississippi State book. Offensive rebound, put back, the second chance points to increase the Villanova lead to 6.
You notice during the pregame warm-ups, Damier Cosby Roundtree moving with a bit of a limp. He had off-season shin surgery, and so I'm guessing that his minutes are being monitored. Same way they're keeping track of Brian Antoine. We haven't seen the terrific freshman play on this back-to-back after he made his collegiate debut successfully yesterday.
Yeah, when you think about Roundtree, he is the only true big man that's in the rotation for Villanova. And so we talked about where their weakness is, especially clearing up that defensive glass. He's going to be someone that's leaned upon heavily to be able to anchor that back line defensively, taking care of the glass. But when he can give you that level of offense, it's going to help. But watching him run in warm-ups, you can tell he's not 100%.
Gillespie waiting to trigger. Glances back at his future Hall of Fame head coach, Jay Wright. Moore drives around Perry, and he lays it up off the glass. Goaltending. 2 points for the Wildcats.
That's the second time we've seen Justin Moore make a move like that. Here in Myrtle Beach, had a beautiful one yesterday for a finish. Does the exact same thing in this opportunity. The hesitation and then getting around the defender. Doesn't see it go through, but still counts for 2 as Perry comes up with the goaltend. But the reason why he's able to get to the rim that way, Mississippi State's scared to leave the shooters on the outside.
Right.
So they don't want to help at all, which allows Justin Moore to get all the way to the rim. And you mentioned Brian Antoine. He's actually checking in the game for the final 5.6 seconds defensively to guard Carter.
There's that matchup. Carter drives around him and gets fouled. That's a tough assignment if you're Brian Antoine.
It's so tough.
You've been sitting cold on the bench for the last 45 minutes.
So
now
tough.
Go chase him.
So tough. And we've seen Carter, of course, he scored the 16 points in the second half yesterday. That is a tough predicament to put Antoine in, but with 2.2 seconds, the foul, Carter can cut into the lead, but Jay Wright also will get his offensive unit back into the game for the final possession.
That means Moore, Gillespie, Swider, and Bay in. Slater, Antoine, Samuels, and Cosby Roundtree go out.
We got one shot here, gentlemen, straight in.
The senior from Starkville makes 2 free throws. Let's see if Villanova can get off a good shot. Baseball pass. Pass to the left. Gillespie beats the buzzer. To answer my own question, yes, they can get off a good shot.
Well, you're talking about one of the all-time great college basketball coaches, maybe the best the game has right now. He has plays in his back pocket for these situations. They practice this, and in the game, it works to perfection. The 3 at the buzzer, more than enough time from Gillespie. Great pass by Sadiq Bey. Even better pass from Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and beautiful shot from Colin Gillespie.
At the end of the first half, it's 42-33 Villanova. Let's send it back to the studio with Kevin, Seth, and Sean. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Welcome back to the 2019 Myrtle Beach Invitational. After having shot 64% in the first half, Villanova takes a 9-point lead over Mississippi State into half number 2. With Corey Alexander, I'm Doug Sherman. Welcome back, everybody. Colin Gillespie, from the time we first saw him as a freshman, was here. Now he's up here.
Well, he gets to play against guys like, Ron Arcidiacono in the summertime, as well as Jalen Brunson. And so when you think about that, he's playing against NBA point guards constantly, and he really shows his maturity to start this game off. Jay Wright leans on him to be that leader, and he has shown it very well here thus far in Myrtle Beach, but definitely gotten some help.
Now for today's game track, brought to you by Visit Myrtle Beach. There are the numbers on Gillespie, 14 points, 5 assists. And you know what? Mississippi State's taking care of the basketball. They had only 5 turnovers in that first half, but they have not been able to stop this Villanova offensive machine that over the last 2 days has looked as good as you can imagine shooting the basketball.
Yeah, and the difference is that the fast break points, those turnovers, or even missed shots have turned into transition opportunities for Villanova, and they've taken advantage of them. It's a 16-4 advantage fast break points for Villanova, and that's where the difference has been in this game.
It was a 16-0 run midway through that first half that turned what was a 22-18 Mississippi State lead into a 34-22 Villanova lead. Samuels no. Sadiq Bey, who you think is so key to this team, has the tip in.
He really is, because of his versatility, his ability to stretch the floor, shooting it from beyond the arc. But another one of those guys that can rebound and push the basketball. And I believe, Bey has to be very successful for this team to, really reach the levels where I think they can. When you talk about potential, they definitely have it.
Well, we shined a spotlight on Sadiq Bey earlier, and at 6'8", he can do things like that.
He can, but he also can put it on the floor. He can shoot it. He can make plays for his teammates. And there are a number of the NBA scouts here. Sadiq Bey, of course, spent time in front of a lot of NBA scouts at the Nike Basketball Academy this summer and garnered a lot of interest from many teams, which is part of the reason why so many of them are here to watch this week.
They're here watching Reggie Perry do his thing. 13 points now for the super sophomore who missed the layup.
The great presence of mind to get the hand out, come up with the steal, but unable to take advantage of it.
Robinson Earl in there battling three Bulldogs, couldn't come up with it.
But this is where you have to be able to capitalize if you're Mississippi State, and they don't. Robinson Earl was down, went after the rebound, was unable to get it, dove on the floor for the loose ball, but it gave Mississippi State a 4-on-5 advantage. The Bulldogs unable to take advantage of it. Now they've got to play against this set Villanova defense, and when you're playing in the half court, you got to make sure that Reggie Perry or Tyson Carter get those touches.
6 points for Carter. That also means he only needs 114 more points to catch his dad.
You're on a countdown.
I am. Greg Carter, terrific Bulldog back in the late 80s and early 90s. One of the three father-son combinations in Mississippi State basketball history. Well, there's something else that they can do.
They can definitely do that. Take advantage of smaller players. Back to the basket. But again, it wasn't a post-up play. He dribbled into the post. He has the ball handling skill to be able to get down there. And then the size and ability to be able to score over the top.
Robert Woodard II, another one of those legacies, hands it off to Tyson Carter. His dad was a Bulldog, as mentioned. Carter, great hesitation, able to take his defender off the bounce.
So one of the things we saw yesterday, Tyson Carter really likes the second half. He's off to a great start here in this one. Already 2 buckets.
Mississippi State continues to play without its all-SEC point guard Nick Weatherspoon due to suspension, out for the first 10 games of the year. This is game number 6. Woodard. Pure on the jump shot.
You know, we didn't talk enough about Woodard and what he did in the first half. Double figures for him, 10 points. And out of those 10 points, 3 of them had to be highlight dunks that we'll probably see on SportsCenter's top 10 sometime tonight.
Gillespie. Nice job by Abdul Adu to keep that alive so Perry could get the rebound. Molinar takes the contact. Couple of shots at the rim, couldn't finish. Gillespie always attacking. Get into the paint, find the open man, but Moore could not make the shot. Molinar. Tremendous end-to-end action.
Yeah, he is a big-time athlete. Jay Wright does not like the fact that Molinar can get from point A to point B the way that he did on that one to finish it off and make this a 2-point game. Bulldogs coming back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in for Black Friday deals. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Okay. It gives you like 10 degrees protection, which is nice. It gives you that light area. Story time?
Sorry, past my bedtime.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
Wow! Wait, how did you guys?
Don't ask.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $369 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
Mississippi State head coach Ben Howland says it's really cool the fact that the sons of these three former Bulldogs are on his current roster. And not only that, Corey, they're three of their best players and three of their best leaders.
And they're three of the players who have been involved in this comeback. When you look at what the Bulldogs have done here in the second half, 7-0 run for Mississippi State. And now with the opportunity to get a stop and see if they can tie this basketball game up or take a lead on the next possession. But the way Villanova executes, I'm sure they'll get a good look on this possession.
Gillespie and Moore in the backcourt. This is Sadiq Bey. Samuels out there as well with Robinson Earl. Well, they got a good shot. And get 3 more points for their junior out of the Rivers School in Massachusetts.
And that only gives you confidence in your players and your team for Jay Wright when you draw up something in the huddle and you come away with a good bucket. They drew up an opportunity for Sadiq Bey to make a play, and he does so in finding Samuel.
Big to big. Woodard finds Perry inside. He was fouled. And that takes us to our next break. Jermaine Samuels playing with a high level of confidence, and according to his coach, playing like a Villanova junior.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Dad, the Lexus dealer guy's calling.
No, it's not. It's a robocall.
We might need a plan B.
I got an idea.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus.
Look.
Giving one. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $329 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Well, the Bulldogs getting back in it against the 17th ranked team in the country.
Well, we mentioned the three legacy players getting involved in it. Reggie Perry attacking the rim, and Tyson Carter knocking down the mid-range jumper, attacking the rim. Iverson Molinar finding his way to the rim, so it's been a physical attack. But we also have to mention the fact that Woodard was the one that knocked down the big three to get them even closer in this game. And now Perry at the free throw line trying to make this a one-possession game.
Mississippi State off to a 5-0 start to the year. This was an NCAA team a year ago. Foul on the rebound against Adu. Third foul on the redshirt junior from Nigeria, and so he will head to the bench. DJ Stewart is on the floor giving chase, trying to keep up with Colin Gillespie. Gillespie going to be called for the push-off.
And that's the second time Gillespie's had that call in this game. And Gillespie, very crafty as a player, but not the quickest guy on the floor. DJ Stewart that time doing a great job keeping his body in front of Gillespie, forcing him to push off and getting the turnover.
Perry, bounce pass on the back cut. Sadiq Bey is going to be whistled for the foul that will send Carter to the strike.
Hey, give Ben Howland some props on that one. That's a design play. Coming out the back door, recognizing the aggressiveness that Villanova will be in the passing lanes. The backdoor action.
And so number 23 in maroon and white, who has had an outstanding 4-year career. You have seen the growth in his game from freshman year to sophomore, sophomore to junior, and now as senior. Statistically, it's very easy to look at the back of his baseball card, if you will, and see that he has gotten better in a lot of different phases.
Spoken like a true baseball card collector.
I know. And I should have said basketball card. They just don't have any basketball cards.
Did you don't have my card?
Well, give it to me.
No, you got to buy it.
Let's check out on eBay.
It's only like 75 cents.
I was going to say.
I'll give you one.
Tell you what, talking about baseball for a second, I've been to Mississippi State for college baseball. I've been there for regionals. And they have as good a home field advantage as you can imagine. It's an unbelievable scene. Better than 10,000 fans every single game.
I can believe that.
It's awesome.
But I appreciate Mississippi State for another reason. My quarterback, baby, Dak Prescott. You know what we do, America's scene. Big game coming up this weekend.
Yeah. Gillespie blocked. I think Perry got a piece. And then the foul called 5 minutes in. My team. What did you say about the Cowboys?
America's team. What do you mean, my team?
My quarterback is what you said.
Oh, yeah, my quarterback. I played for the Cowboys, too.
Yes.
I played for Virginia last year, won a national championship. I played for the Cowboys as well.
No off season. Three different Bulldogs now into double figures. Keyshawn Feazell has come in with a due on the bench, dealing with those 3 fouls. This is Feazell, faces up, shoots over Swider, missed it. Foul on the rebound as Perry was crashing the offensive glass.
But Doug, I love the fact that Mississippi State is throwing the basketball inside, okay? They're trying to get their bigs established. But if you're going to do that, why not go to Reggie Perry?
Right.
I mean, again, he's attacking the offensive board, coming up with the basketball, getting his hands on it. But he's got to be the guy that you play through on the interior. And he's already shown that there's no one on this Villanova team that can guard him on the block. Yet, we see him on the perimeter way too much.
Carter. One and done. Sadiq Bey with a nice job on the glass. Moore spins to the lane, dumps it off, and it's an easy 2 for Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
But beautiful find by Justin Moore, getting out in transition. So much poise for a freshman. The young man has been coached very well, coming up between his high school coach Mike Jones at DeMatha Catholic.
Carter tries again, and this time finds the range.
Speaking of being coached well, Coach Carter, meaning Dad, coaching Tyson. But I can tell you right now, we've given Dad a lot of love. Mom was beaming after the game young fella had yesterday, and she's even happier with his defensive stance right there, getting in front of Justin Moore, taking the charge, getting the basketball back for the Bulldogs. Moore on the prior possession, getting to the rim, dropping it off for Robinson Earl. But Tyson Carter for 3 on one end, the great defensive stand on the other end. Tyson Carter getting a seat. At this point, when coach subs for me, and I just hit a 3, nah, coach, I'm hot right now. You got to get somebody else.
So it's Iverson Molinar who brought it up. Out there with Stewart and Woodard around the perimeter. Perry and Feazell inside. Off the great spin move, it's an air ball. Woodard. Here come those Bulldogs on the offensive glass. My goodness, it's like a maroon wave.
But still unable to take that lead. Villanova comes up with another stop and an opportunity to put just a little bit of separation. As you see the Bulldogs going after it on the glass. Woodard misses the layup. Perry misses the putback. And just unable to control the basketball to keep it from going out of bounds.
Good answer right there. Robinson Earl Now with 14 points.
But those are mental possessions, Doug. Again, you have an opportunity to take a lead, you don't get it, and just like that, Villanova comes back, knocks down the 3, makes it a 4-point lead, now a 2-possession game. And those are the type of plays that coaches always remember after a game, especially if they don't win, where they had a chance.
Fizel blocked by Swider. Here goes Gillespie, and again, it's an offensive foul.
The Villanova faithful here do not want to see it. They don't want to hear about it. But if you extend that arm, give Swider credit for the job he did defensively. But on the other end of the floor, if you extend that forearm, which on that possession I don't think he did. From that look, now Jay Wright has a reason to be upset on that one. Gillespie did not. He did on the first 2. But on that possession, he did not extend that forearm.
Nonetheless, Coach Wright is going to leave Gillespie on the floor for now. 12:22 remaining. That's 3 fouls on Gillespie. Perry carves out a little bit of space, but couldn't get the roll on the rim. Boy, paint touch, collapse the defense, find the open man, knock down the shot.
You hit it on the head, partner, but I tell you right now, the presence of mind by Saddiq Bey to be patient in the lane, allowing Samuels to get right to the shooting pocket where he can knock down a shot. And Villanova is so fundamentally sound and looking for their teammates.
Molinar denied by Samuels. Well, you know what? The Bulldogs haven't led since the 9-minute mark of the first half. They had a possession about 2 minutes ago to take the lead, couldn't do it, and now Villanova's pushed right back.
Well, it's because of that Villanova junior. Samuels, 3-ball, corner pocket is good, but not as good as the huge block denying the opportunity for Villanova.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Dad, the Lexus dealer guy's calling.
No, it's not. It's a robocall.
We might need a plan B.
I got an idea.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus.
Look.
Giving one. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $329 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
Nobody likes an awkward silence. You can actually use it for something good.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Tyson Carter trying to keep Mississippi State in this ball game.
Well, Tyson Carter got off to a great start here in the second half, knocking down the mid-range and then attacking the basket with the finish over top of the Villanova defense. Defensively getting it done as well, stretching it from beyond the arc. Continues to play great basketball, getting in front of Justin Moore, taking the offensive foul. But we talked about how Mississippi State got close. That one-point game, Tyson Carter went to the bench. And since then, Villanova's had a 6-0 run to get some separation in this game, and now an opportunity on fast break, but they turn it over.
DJ Stewart pulls it back out and hands it to Carter. Carter's got 13 points, as does Robert Woodard. Reggie Perry with 14 to lead Mississippi State. Robinson Earl and Gillespie both have 14 for the Cats.
We talk so much about how Mississippi State had to do a better job handling the basketball, and they've done that in this game. Big bucket by Stewart.
Second three-pointer for the 6'6" redshirt freshman out of Riverside High School in Mississippi.
But right now it's a 12-5 turnover margin. Villanova with the 12, actually 13 after that last possession. So only 5 turnovers for Mississippi State in this game.
Gillespie gives it back to Bay, who rises up and connects.
This is the Sadiq Bey that we've been expecting to see for Villanova, making plays the entire second half of this game.
Cosby Roundtree the rebound, quickly the other way, Villanova. Samuel, great up fake. And he gets the secondary defender Adu in the air. That's going to be his 4th foul.
But I don't know if that's going to be a shooting foul, because Samuel never went through with that, as we see Sadiq Bey stepping back, knocking down the 3. And as Samuels drives, by holding on to that basketball, he will not get free throws out of that. Mike Eads right on top of it, one of the best officials in the country. Glad to see him back after an injury-plagued season a year ago.
Robinson Earl working on Perry. Use the rim to shield.
Those two guys, teammates, of course, on the USA Basketball U19 gold medal winning team this summer. So know each other very well, and Robinson Earl knew he didn't want to go straight up on that possession.
And you didn't want him to go straight into you on that possession.
Well, see, he went low. You know, Jeremiah's my guy. So he went low. He knows I can't take the physicality anymore. I can't take that hit. I would have got up and tried to catch him if he went high. But being that he went low, I wasn't in danger.
On average, how many of my guys do you have on each team?
Man, I can tell you right, on these two teams, I got a lot of my guys on Villanova. Not as many at Mississippi State.
All right.
But still a couple. Tyson Carter's my guy now.
He's going to go to the free throw line for one more.
You want to know why he's my guy?
Because he's playing like...
Because he is balling out here right now.
Yeah.
And we got a chance to talk to him yesterday, which makes him my guy, especially when he's coming off screens, flying and knocking down threes and picking up the possibility for 4-point play.
There's a good look at the young man who joined us after their first-round win here at the Myrtle Beach Invitational, after he went for 16 points and 11 rebounds in the win over Tulane. And it was those 11 rebounds that Coach Howland wanted to talk about afterward. Most impressed by that.
He was team high 11 rebounds, and we talked about the tremendous advantage they had over Tulane, 41-16 for that game. And 11 rebounds coming from your guards. That's definitely important for Coach Howland.
Got a couple of coaches in this one who know their way around the Final Four. Ben Howland, Jay Wright. Robinson Earl scores again over Perry.
That's nice. A little bit of dream shake in there. Just to get Perry enough space, send him to the middle.
You can see the look on Carter's face. He picks up the foul in the backcourt.
But you hear the resounding applause from this Villanova following here, because a foul was called, and it wasn't against Gillespie, but he actually got a call. Clarence Armstrong, the veteran official, not fazed. A small wink, recognizing it.
Carter keeping tight with Swider.
Yeah, Swider hit a three like as soon as he came in the game. But since then...
What's not to like about Jeremiah Robinson Earl?
But remember now, you're talking about your starting 4 and 5 men. These are not the traditional bigs. These are guards
who happen to be 6'9" and 6'8".
Exactly. Guards XL. Playing pick and roll in the paint. Sadiq Bey finishing off a beautiful feed from Jeremiah Robinson Earl for the Wildcats.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
No. No. No.
How come I'm always walking backwards?
Because you got young legs.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
This is unbelievable.
It really is.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 RX 350 for $419 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
The 2K Empire Classic wraps up tonight at MSG with the consolation game between Texas and Cal at 5 o'clock, followed by the championship game. Top-ranked Duke, Georgetown, 7 o'clock. Both those games on ESPN2. And we mentioned earlier that we've got two head coaches in this game, Villanova and Mississippi State, who know their way around the Final Four. And turn back the clock 10 years, they did square off in the NCAA tournament when Coach Howland was at UCLA. That day, Nova won 89-69. And I'm guessing if we asked both coaches about that day, they could recite chapter and verse, possession by possession, how that game went.
I'm pretty sure they would. And, of course, when you think about these two consummate professionals, and they also were in the same conference when Ben Howland was at Pittsburgh, Jay Wright at Villanova early in his career. I believe Howland had the advantage back then, 2-0 hit over Villanova. But the all-time record between the two of them is 3-3 right now, so this will be the tiebreaker.
Yep. On that day 10 years ago, Dante Cunningham was the big scorer for Nova. They had 6 in double figures, and Dante went for 18. Villanova with the basketball, 7:45 remaining in regulation. They led the entire second half. Slater able to get it back to Gillespie. Woodard tracks down the long pass into the corner and says, why not?
Yeah, Woodard ran to the three-point line on that possession instead of going to the rim where he's been able to finish.
What were you saying in the first half? You like it when they're listening to you? The fourth dunk of the day by Robert Woodard II.
And they get more impressive each time. Ran to the three-point line, should have run to the basket, but now we have to say, no, he shouldn't have. Because if he had run to the basket and scored the first time, we wouldn't have been delighted to this highlight that we will definitely see on SportsCenter top 10 plays tonight.
And, you know, Coach Howland says Robert Woodard II is just scratching the surface.
That's scary to think about that, because, I mean, he jumped over someone earlier today.
Yeah, 6'7", 235, still just a sophomore from Columbus, Mississippi. And as I told you earlier, his dad, Robert Sr., was a Bulldog. And Robert II says, I wasn't pressured into becoming a Bulldog, but there were some subliminals coming my way. So he listened to Dad, sort of. And he's off to a great start to his career last year, this year. And now he's got his team back within 5. And by the way, that timeout was called by Villanova. You'll notice on your screen, Mississippi State is out of timeouts with over 7 minutes remaining, and Nova has just 1 remaining.
Well, this has been a well-officiated game, a well-played game, and a very well-coached game. Now, when you talk about the fact that they don't have timeouts, it's because each of these coaches has understood each and every possession and valued and used those timeouts very well. Just like Jay Wright, able to draw up something to execute in that timeout and get a big bucket to extend this to an 8-point lead.
What would you say? This feels like kind of a round of 32 game?
May go 16.
16?
You think about
Okay.
these two teams?
Okay.
This could be a Sweet 16 team. Both of them.
Molinar, too strong, and Gillespie comes away with it. Woodard blocked the first attempt, and then the whistle comes. Boy, the ball doesn't stop at that end of the floor. When Villanova's on offense, they share it as well as anybody.
They do. I mean, and with precision. And you talk about the fact that they're always driving to the rim, looking to find teammates. If they have a layup, they take it. But outside of that, they're driving to find the open man on the outside of that three-point line because they spread the floor with shooters. All 5 players on the floor for Villanova capable of knocking down the three.
So that ball just out of bounds. Nova keeps possession. Bulldogs were last to touch. This is Colin Gillespie.
And Doug, one name we haven't said a lot about here in the second half is Reggie Perry. He really hasn't been able to get involved much at all, especially on the offensive end of the floor. Does a great job defensively there, but Saddiq Bey coming up. As the officials will go over to see if he got that shot off before the shot clock. But I can tell you right now, whether it counts or not, the effort by Saddiq Bey on that possession, just to go after the offensive glass and the presence of mind to be able to put it up, knowing the shot clock is going off, you should give him the 2 points anyway. That's why I can't be a referee. I will reward this play alone. It looks like he got it out of his hands before we see the 0, but does the red light go off?
Yeah, live, I thought he got rid of it on time, and so now.
And you see the scoreboard, the shot clock light up after the ball is out of his hands. Still 1 on the clock during the official review.
So Mike Eads and Clarence Armstrong have decided, yes, indeed, the basket counts.
And for everyone at home, of course, we get the opportunity to see it as the officials see it. But right there, the ball's out of his hands. You see the red light light up on the scoreboard. I'm sorry, on the shot clock. And the most acrobatic bucket thus far for Saddiq Bey.
He's got 17 points, and just like that, Corey, the lead is back to double figures. Perry finds the cutter. Dunk number 5 for Woodard. But who's counting?
Sports Center. He might have the whole top 10 by himself tonight.
Bey kicks to Swider. Air ball. Woodard has it in his hands.
And that's a play where Swider hasn't gotten many good looks because of the Mississippi State defense. Also, he's been abused a couple times on the defensive end of the floor. Rushed that shot.
Ball came to Adu and he laid it in. First 2 points for the redshirt junior.
And Villanova has gained some separation, but they have not been able to put the Bulldogs away. 4 straight points for the Bulldogs. Now we're talking about a 6-point game once again.
Gillespie crosses over Stewart. Nobody's in the lane. An easy finger roll for number 2.
But again, the reason why there's no one in the lane is because all of the Bulldogs are scared to leave the shooters on the perimeter. Villanova has 4 guys on the perimeter as Gillespie's going down the lane that all can make the 3.
Stewart dumps it off, and Perry was fouled from behind. Yeah, you're right. Adu comes into this week leading the SEC in block shots, but he can't afford to rim protect because he's got to get out as well.
Well, he's guarding either Jeremiah Robinson-Earl or Saddiq Bey, who both have shown you they can knock down the 3. Of course, you don't want to leave Cole Swider open. Jeremiah Samuels has shown us he can knock down the 3. So therefore, who do you leave to come in and help and not take away the 2-point game?
So once Gillespie was able to leave his defender behind with the crossover, he turned the corner, and my goodness, there was nobody in the paint.
Which was a very nice crossover, by the way. What I would like to, well, actually, it was a double cross, or AKA the boom bip.
The boom bip?
Boom bip.
All right, I'm going to write that one down. There's another one I'm learning.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you come play pickup with me, you'll learn it very well.
One word or two? While I'm writing that down.
It'll be two.
Okay.
2 crosses, 2 words.
Boom, bip. Got it. Bay turns down the screen. 4 minutes to go. Woodard. And that might be it for Adu. We'll step away with 3:49 remaining in regulation. Nova's up 6. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Visit Myrtle Beach, where happiness comes in waves.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Dad, the Lexus dealer guy's
No, it's
calling
not. It's a robocall.
We might need a plan B.
I got an idea.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus.
Look.
Giving one. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $329 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
3:49 on the clock. Villanova, the 17th ranked team in the country, holding on to a 6-point lead. With Corey Alexander, I'm Doug Sherman. I lost my sheet of paper. Now, what was it again? Boom, bip,
That's called the boom, bip. See, if you hit somebody with a cross, boom, okay? Boom. But when you hit them with the cross and you boom, you come over, watch, boom, bip, got him. Coming down the lane, no one leaves. I got a wide open layup. The double cross, boom, bip, Colin Gillespie using it to his advantage to get the easy bucket for the Wildcats.
Boom, bip. Colin Gillespie has been so good the last 2 days. Scored 8 points in the first 55 seconds of this tournament yesterday, and then 16 points, 8 assists, and a boom bip to give the Cats a 6-point lead.
You got to say, I hit him with the boom bip. That's what you go. When you go back and you're playing pickup games, and afterwards when you put it on the ground, and you double cross somebody, I want your caption to say, hit him with the boom bip.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Gillespie turns the corner again. This time the help defense comes, but the foul is given. And so he's going to shoot 2.
In great action, you have someone on the post. Jeremiah Robinson Earl floats. You see floats backwards to the 3-point line. Reggie Perry comes over to try to contest the shot. Now, when you get that close into the lane, of course, now you have to continue to go all the way to the rim as Gillespie does. But oftentimes, they'll whip that one out as well. Driving down the middle, throw it out to the corner for a wide open shooter for 3.
Now, we talked a lot about it yesterday, how Colin Gillespie had such a brutal preseason between the plantar fasciitis and then the broken nose. This now his 3rd game without the mask, the protective mask, and he is playing free and loose. 17 points, has the lead back to 7. And he kicked the entry pass. And so the Bulldogs will have it on the baseline.
But I like the idea by the Bulldogs. Go inside to Reggie Perry. You know, 3:20 remaining in this game. You got more than enough time to play through Perry on the interior, which they haven't done much of in the second half. Fortunately, they've got a great second half from Carter as well as Woodard.
Woodard misses out of bounds. The two officials look at each other. Clarence Armstrong tells Alandis Poole that it's going to stay with Mississippi State.
Great officiating right there. Poole didn't have a good look on it. He immediately goes over to Clarence Armstrong, who's on the outside. See the ball coming off. Gillespie. Uh-oh. That does look like it goes off of Reggie Perry's foot, but not under 2 minutes. Can't review it. A break for the Bulldogs on that possession.
And we have video screens on either end of the arena.
Oh, it didn't matter.
The HTC Center.
Yeah, we got enough Villanova fans in here to where we don't even need the jumbotrons. They're going to tell you who it actually went off of. And as my man Sheed at home is saying right now, I know he's watching the game because he just texted me, ball don't lie.
That would be Rasheed Wallace. Sadiq Bey with the left. And the stick back by Robinson Earl.
And a smart play by Bey on that possession. Even though he doesn't make the shot, it's more important to get it up on the glass, especially when you have two defenders contesting your shot, because you're going to open up someone on the backside for offensive rebound. In that scenario, it was Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
Woodard sets up Carter, front rimmed it. There's Perry attacking the glass again, and then the foul against Villanova. I think Samuels is the guilty party.
You see Sadiq Bey draws Woodard coming over for the shot blocker as Woodard leaves Jeremiah Robinson Earl. There's no one to keep him off the glass on an offensive rebound. An easy putback.
Reggie Perry, who worked out in the spring for the Sacramento Kings and Charlotte Hornets, makes the first. Sports Center, 6 o'clock Eastern, after PTI with Sage and Keith. Ahead of Rockets Clippers tonight, they'll look at who got the better of the split between Russell Westbrook and Paul George, plus how the Browns will handle brawl distractions. Saturday's upset factors for Ohio State, Georgia, and Oregon. Sports Center on ESPN and the ESPN app right after PTI. Woodard, foul.
We start talking about sports, and I'm wondering if they're just going to do a Woodard package on SportsCenter tonight with his dunks.
Yeah.
Will he get like one play, but like 5 dunks in that one play, or will he get, 5 different plays?
I think on top plays they will do one sequence of Robert Woodard, and I don't know if we'll get all 5, but I bet you we get at least 2.
Okay. I think 3 of them were extra special.
Okay.
I'm going to call somebody.
You got somebody in Bristol?
No, I was asking you. I'm going to call somebody, but you need to tell me who it is. Big possession right here for Mississippi State. They need a bucket. And when you need a bucket, I'm thinking Reggie Perry is the answer. Or
Mr. Carter.
Or Mr. Carter, who has become my guy.
That's true.
Here during this tournament, continues to make big shots, especially in the second half. And that's a big bucket there, and he did it with very little time wasted on the clock.
He's got 20 points, 3 out of 8 from beyond the arc. Villanova has to use its final timeout with 2:04 remaining. Things are getting interesting here at the Myrtle Beach Invitational. This is the first semifinal. Mississippi State will not go away.
And you see Reggie Perry stepping up, setting a big screen, and Tyson Carter behind it, knocking down a big 3. 5-point game. 2 minutes and 4 seconds is an eternity. And you look at both these teams have shot the ball extremely well from beyond the 3-point arc in the second half. 5 for 10 for Mississippi State, 5 for 11 for Villanova, respectively. So shooting has not been an issue.
Well, we don't have chalk in the semis, but the hometown team is in tonight's second semi. Coastal Carolina, in what will officially be a home game, will try for its second straight upset, but 24th ranked Baylor looked pretty good in beating Ohio last night.
I've got a strong feeling that the Chanticleer faithful will have the HTC Center rocking tonight, taking on a ranked opponent on their home floor in this environment with an opportunity to move on to the championship of the Myrtle Beach Invitational. I think it's going to be rocking in here tonight. See coach and staff from Baylor here checking out the game, scouting a little bit.
So that'll be coming up on ESPNU, scheduled for the top of the hour. The Sun Belt Conference hosting the Big 12 Conference. Coastal Carolina versus Baylor. We've got 2:04 remaining in our first semifinal. No timeouts left. Bay's got to get it in. And he gets it back. Now the pressure drops back.
But look at this. When you're talking about bringing the ball up the floor against pressure, it's your 4 and your 5 man. Your point guard's at the other end of the floor, and it's your 4 and 5 men handling the responsibility. But that's how much trust Jay Wright has in his so-called bigs, even though they're guards extra large.
Carter uses the screen. Gillespie poked it away, and then Stewart collided with Moore.
Mississippi State's been great handling the basketball all afternoon. But at the biggest time when they need a play, a turnover by Stewart, just mishandling the basketball and then compounding the mistake with the foul, sending Justin Moore to the free throw line.
The freshman out of Fort Washington, Maryland, has not been to the free throw line much this year. Doesn't get the roll, so no bonus either.
Actually ends up being a very good foul because you do it with very little time left on the going off the clock. And the missed front end of a 1-and-1, you get the ball back with an opportunity to score.
Carter goes around Samuels for 2 more.
We got a 1-possession game here.
They get the ball into the hands of Gillespie, and he looks to attack. Samuels out to Bay, under a minute to go.
Remember, neither team has a timeout, so it's going to be up to the players to make crucial decisions on the fly to end this game.
5 to shoot. Robinson Earl tried to throw it down, and he draws the foul. Third on Woodard, 10th on the Bulldogs.
Tyson Carter getting to the basket, finishing the layup to make it a 1-possession game. And Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who started the game with young man finishes, attacking the rim like a grown man on that possession.
Out of Bishop Miege High School in Kansas. The first is good.
He's out of IMG Academy, Doug.
But where's he from?
Where did he graduate from? IMG Academy.
Where's home?
He won a national championship at IMG Academy.
After having spent most of his life going to Bishop Miege.
If you ask Jeremiah Robinson Earl where he played high school basketball, he will tell you IMG Academy.
And if you ask the people in Overland Park, Kansas, what are they going to say?
I'm not going to ask them.
Back to a 5-point game. Carter, long range, air ball.
That's not the shot. And I know he's been hot. I have no problem with him taking it, but he's standing on the star that denotes Coastal Carolina in the middle of the floor where we are. That's a tough shot.
Gillespie's fouled by Perry. Third foul on Perry. And Mississippi State led for a good part of the first 10 minutes or so of this ball game, but then Villanova hit them with a 16-0 run, and the Bulldogs have been playing catch-up ever since.
They have. They made it a 1-point game at 50-51. We just saw a 3-point game But every time that Mississippi State made a run to get this game within striking distance to where they could take a lead, they have been unable to do so, normally because of a turnover or a bad shot. And then Villanova has responded very well.
1 out of 2 for Gillespie. Shot clock is off. Bulldogs down 6. They've got to go. Perry tipped up and in on the weak side by Stewart. No timeouts again. Got to get the inbound if you're Villanova. Gillespie to Samuels. He's by himself. And a chance for 3.
That was a very smart play by Samuels. Now, oftentimes you'll see players dribble the basketball out, but Samuels goes to the rim, gets the foul, but finishes. So now what you don't have is the pressure of going and making 2 free throws. You put 2 more points on the board, make it a 6-point game. The free throw now makes it a 3-possession game. Very smart play by Samuels on that one by attacking the rim.
And that might have just done it. Molinar. And the Villanova Wildcats are going to advance to the championship game of the Myrtle Beach Invitational.
Strong performance by Villanova, but I will say Mississippi State, tremendous performance as well. This is a very good team, a tough task for Villanova here this afternoon.
The Bulldogs lose for the first time this year and drop to 5-1. Villanova now 4-1. We're going to get Jay Wright over here courtside, but for now, let's go back to the studio. Kevin, take it away.
These are my people. This is a land where my forefathers lie. These are my people.
Okay. It gives you like 10 degrees of protection, which is nice. It gives you that light area. Story time?
Sorry, past my bedtime.
Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one.
Wow! Wait, how did you guys?
Don't ask. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $369 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody has a reputation, some good, some not so good. What if you could check people's reputation scores to find out who you're really associating with? That's the power of My Life. My Life is better than Google for uncovering everything from hidden criminal records to personal character reviews.
I look up everyone. Neighbors, home service providers, even so-called friends.
Reputation is everything. Protect yourself with My Life. Check anyone's reputation, including your own, at mylife.com.
You know, the last 2 days he has played lights out.
Yeah. He's had a great summer. You know, he went with Ed Cooley and Kevin Willard with the Pan Am team, and he was awesome. And then I can't tell you how bad his fall was.
Yeah.
The things that happened, some things we didn't even talk about. And it's so, he's our heart and soul, you know, so it's so good for us to see him. We get inspired to see him feeling good again. It's really cool to see.
And, Coach, you got a number of big performances by a number of players, but how about Sadiq Bays, especially in the second half when he was able to do making plays for himself, but his teammates as well?
Yeah, Sadiq's a complete player. I know you love him because he's DC boy, but he really is. He can do it all. You know, he can score inside and he can create shots. Great offensive rebounder. You know, and he gets in all kinds of actions for us. So it's really valuable. That play we were in trouble right there. That was a huge play. That offensive rebound tip in at the buzzer. I wasn't sure if it was good or not. So we got a little lucky there.
And Jeremiah Robinson-Earl also bringing a lot. I mean, I loved his post-entry on the wraparound pass as much as anything else.
He's a ball player. I don't know what position he is.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's a basketball player. I mean, he made so many different plays. He guarded on the perimeter, hit a three, drove the ball, makes free throws, gets open against the press. We're lucky to have him.
Look good, Coach. Congratulations.
Good to see you guys.
All right.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you in the championship game tomorrow night here in, or rather Sunday night here in Myrtle Beach. That'll do it for now from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So long. For Corey, I'm Doug.